Lama Givishin Rumboche Jibadan Jibanam Jishabla Kupi Shansar Shan Jabson Chogo Tutsiwa Chimbu Jesus Song Shan Chang the Soul Quand la Simje Tambarin Chinde Jibati Kala Shansar Shan Quand la Nupa Hichan Dimderva Devin Johnny de la Jobson Chu. Okay. Now Tashidelak to all of you. Again, thank you for coming to today's teaching, and I hope you all are doing well. And again, we're going to continue the teaching on the Bodhisattva's Garland of Gems by the great master Atisha, or George, or you can say George, pardon, Atisha. So I'm going to pick up where I left of the last class. And if you are joining these teachings for the first time, you can watch the previous teachings on the topic on YouTube. And also, if you think these teachings are beneficial, you should rewatch them again. And also please share these teachings with others, with your friends who are interested in practicing mind training, not necessarily Buddhist people, but someone who really want think about daily life and practice a little bit mind training. And then these teachings are public, so you can share with your friends and anyone if you want. Just let you know that. Now I would like to, as usual, begin by reminding all of you that it is important to have a good motivation for this class. Because learning to the teachings with an uncertain motivation is, of course, very common for, as like ordinary people like us. And especially a selfish motivation will not bring much benefit. So therefore, with the correct motivation right at the beginning is very important. And then dedication at the end, very important. If you do these two things, you can really accumulate a great merit and virtue. That is so important. So please correct your motivation. I always say this just to remind you, and correct motivation right at the beginning. That is the great place to begin. So therefore, make sure correct your motivation. And once you establish your motivation, then we're going to start teaching, and you can carefully listen, and then you can learn, and then you can practice. Now, basically, this teaching is about, as I mentioned many times, mind training practice, okay? Especially about how to deal with your motivation and action in your daily life, which is very, very important. These teachings say that we have to understand our state of being, because the more we understand our state of being, the more we learn why we suffer a lot, right? So that's why this is called mind training practice. So first you have to get into the Dharma, then you can think about what you can do, okay? As you know, practice brings a sense of present and sense of and simple awareness. And awareness brings a real sense of a non-dual approach, so that daily actions, activities, or experience is very genuine, very real. And also, having practiced enough, then achievement comes naturally. That is like, basically the mind training practice, do these kind of things. Now, for those of you who were here at the last teaching, you will remember that we have talked about mental dullness, and it's important to eliminate those obstacles when you practice, right? And today the teaching is again about how to deal with our mind when they are distracted by either pleasant things, or when our minds are upset about unpleasant things. So basically today we're going to talk about mindfulness and awareness. I hope you have the root text. You prepared the root text is very important. Otherwise, you will not remember the teachings. So the root text, if you have the root text, the Bodhisattva Garland of Jim is saying that with mindfulness, awareness, and carefulness, dandang shibjin varyut base, carefulness varyut ongor tak betongs, always protect the doors of your senses. Nyimsen tisam yang dang yang, again and again, 3 times, both day and night. Simji jilla tak prashas, examine the flow of your thoughts. This is the topic for today's teaching. So it's very, very simple, very common, but it's the most important practice and foundation of any kind of practice you're doing. So with mindfulness, awareness, and carefulness, always protect the doors of your senses again and again, 3 times, both day and night. Examine the flow of your thoughts. Okay, that is the text, right? Now, in order to protect the doors of our senses, Atisha gives us an important point here. We have to practice these 3 mental states: mindfulness, awareness, and carefulness. This is also something that Shantandeva's discuss a great deal. He explains about mindfulness, awareness, and carefulness in in very detail. And he has 2 chapters on it in the way of the Bodhisattva. I think chapter 4, chapter 5, if you should read at least those 2 chapters if you haven't read them yet. And also there are lots of good commentaries on this chapter 4 and 5. This chapter, it's about actually, it's about carefulness, and shivyin means awareness. So very, very important. So because for meditators without mindfulness, awareness, carefulness, it's impossible to meditate. And this is not only for your meditation, but like your daily life. These 3 are the key. Always we have to remember. Therefore, I'm very happy that Atisha gave us this important point so that we can talk about it, and also we can apply and into our practice. So it's very important. Our minds will be distracted by, how do I say, desire objects of the senses, and then we engage in negative actions, right? That's the reason. That's the reason why we need to think about mindfulness and carefulness, because the desire and attachment, right? So that's why Atisha said you have to protect the doors of your senses because of these pleasant objects, unpleasant objects. Then we engage negative actions and harm each other. So therefore, teachers say meditators really sort of constantly need to deal with distractions, because it is the main obstacle. Otherwise, you cannot sort of protect your the doors of your senses. So therefore, in order to protect the mind from obstacles, mindfulness, again, awareness, carefulness are important. You know that. So mindfulness, usually, mindfulness and carefulness, Atisha, wrote here 3 main practice, but if you understand mindfulness and awareness, then carefulness actually included of this too. So we're going to talk about mindfulness and awareness, and mindfulness and awareness are basically paying attention to everything, paying attention to the main focus of the meditation, paying attention to every action of body, speech, and mind, and pay attention to basically whatever you're doing. For example, when you meditate on mindfulness, it is the idea of learn how to be fully present and engaged in the moment, aware of your thoughts and your feelings without distraction or without any kind of judgment. So it is fully engaged with whatever you're doing in the moment. So you have to focus on whatever you're doing. So you have to be constantly constantly mindful. And you have to continuously recognize and pay attention to your especially distractions, whatever you're doing. And like your, when you meditate, like, your dullness, we talked about this last class, in the last class, right? Dullness and distractiveness, your thoughts, your disturbing emotions, and so on and so forth. So whatever you're doing, whatever you are dealing with, when we talk about the mindfulness awareness, how do I say, what you're dealing with here is, when we talk about mindfulness awareness, is actually attention. Attention is the, I think, the first step in the learning process. Attention is what you put on an object in order to stay focused on it, right? So that your mind is not influenced by negative emotions and distractions. But we know how to practice mindfulness awareness. We know how important this to practice, but it's difficult for most people to pay attention to things like meditation. If they feel it is not very interesting, meditation can be boring. It's not your favorite thing to do, especially if you are a beginner, right? You rather go outside, play with your friend, things like that. Meditation really difficult, and it can be very boring. Maybe that's why we have a hard time to deal with attention. So meditation is like, these are the mindfulness awareness, the essence of the meditation. So once you have this two important key, your meditation will be good. So meditation is like exercising a muscle that you are never really worked out before, right? It takes, constant practice, and it takes time to get comfortable with your mind. And meditation is about training and awareness and getting a genuine sense of perspective. One thing is, there is no such thing as a perfect meditation, right? You have to know that. People always think I have to practice a meditation and perfectly, no mistake, like that. But there's no way. Sometimes your mind will wander. Sometimes you will forget your attention. But what's most important is to meditate constantly. That is, if you really want to train your mind, meditate constantly. Don't worry about don't worry about too much, like the quality or the perfect, but you have to meditate constantly and using this mindfulness and awareness. These are great tool or method. Now the question is, when you meditate, do you think meditation is something that you need to separate from your daily life? You may think meditation is spiritual, and secret. So you cannot meditate, for example, like outside of your shrine room. You must have a beautiful shrine room, gold statues and beautiful like that. And then you meditate in front of that. That's why meditation is like a spiritual and very secret. So therefore, you have to meditate sort of inside of your shrine room. You have to meditate sort of in front of the statues of the Buddha, in front of this kind of like holy objects. So therefore, meditation must be separate from your daily life. Your daily life is the opposite of that, right? Which is full of distractions and not peaceful, lots of negative emotions, lots of activities, dealing with people, with your work, all of that. So when you meditate in your shrine room, your mind is kind of like quiet and less distraction. So this is the right place meditation, that's why most people don't meditate while they are in the office or you don't meditate with your family, you don't meditate with your friends. So you must separate your meditation from your daily life, right? You may think like that. Or you may think meditation cannot be separate from your daily life. When you meditate, you are trying to find out every action, every sort of relationship with this total awareness of your mind. That cannot be separate from your daily life, So you may think meditation is part of your daily life. You cannot separate meditation. Otherwise, what's the point? What is the benefit? If you separate your meditation, when you meditate in front of holy objects and inside of your shrine room, then you are happy, you are peaceful, you have no negative emotions and whatsoever like that. So you feel good. But then as soon as you're done with your meditation, and then you sort of go outside or whatever, go to work or whatever, then your mind starts to thinking, right? Then you see all this, see or hear pleasant or unpleasant objects, and then you engage with the negative actions, and then your meditation is gone, So therefore, you cannot separate your meditation from daily life, So meditation is, total understanding of your daily life. That's it. How simple is that? Meditation cannot be separate from your daily life. If you do, no point. So meditation is complete, total understanding of your daily life. Your daily life is your life. And meditation is being mindful during daily life. For example, when you go to the office, when you're working in the factory, when you're talking with people, whatever you do, you are aware of your reactions. and aware of all the sort of movements of thoughts, and you are mindful of everything without trying to control them. But just being aware of this whole momentum of thinking, that's meditation. Meditation is not secret. Meditation is not necessarily spiritual. Meditation is total understanding of your daily life. That's meditation. But it's so difficult for us to be aware of everything. Therefore, meditation is training in awareness. So if you want to meditate, that is meditation. That's why mindfulness, awareness can help you to be aware of everything. Once you're aware of everything, you observe everything, then you will understand, slowly you will understand the total understanding, completely understand your life, your daily life. That's meditation. Just to be aware of this daydreaming and fantasy. People are just thinking and never being present, either living past or future by thinking, this daydreaming, right? And then you don't feel anything this present moment, which is your life. Past and future is just thought. That's it, just thought. Nothing exists other than that. But you just follow that, and that kind of then you're not aware of what is happening in this moment. But you have to, be aware of this kind of thought, and then investigating why you are thinking all kinds of things that are not really necessary in your daily life. So the investigation of these things with the total awareness, that examination itself is also meditation. So when you find out those problems in your daily life, and then you clarify them, that is what we call the moment of meditation. Through that kind of meditation, you will find the truth. You will find your life. You will understand who you are. You will understand what is life. You will find the truth. The truth is something that alive in your daily life every single day. The truth, like the truth about impermanence, the truth about cause and conditions and karma, the truth about interdependent origination, the truth about the nature of mind, the truth that all phenomena are empty of self-existence, and the truth that enlightenment is beyond this the dualistic mind, and so on and so forth. If you 100% totally aware of everything, you will understand all of these things. these things, this truth is related to, very much related to our life, daily life. So you have to understand all of this. But we will sort of not be able to understand these truths because ignorance, right? Ignorance makes us not understand these truths. Also, distractions make us forget these truths. So we are not usually like, we're not aware when we speak. That's where we hurt each other. We are not aware when we meditate. That's where we have lots of distractions. We are thinking about something else while we are meditating, right? Am I right? I do. When we have these distractions, basically, we are not there. We are constantly not aware of what is happening. We are continuously not living mindfully. Not being aware of what is around us is one of the causes of our endless stress, anxiety, and suffering. And out of ignorance, the most powerful afflictions are created, right? Such as attachment, aversion, and jealousy, etc. And then these powerful afflictions gives us all kinds of emotions. But the moment we are mindful and have a great attention, then we're separate from these negative emotions. That's why mind training practice is so important. So through mindfulness, awareness practice, you will know that you have all these distractions. And knowing that is really good meditation. And that is important for our daily lives. That is what we call meditation. I always, like many times say, please meditate without the perfectionism. Oh, I can meditate perfectly. I make a lot of mistakes. When I meditate, I'm thinking something else. Don't worry about this but just do it. Just try to be mindful, be aware. So meditation is so important. The most important things in our life. Meditation is a great discipline because that discipline comes when you observe your thinking and observe your action. That is meditation, and that is absolutely necessary in your daily life. That is great discipline. Without that recognition, without that observation, you really don't know what is happening around you, what is happening, everywhere. So the best kind of meditation is when the mind has awareness and mindfulness. especially in understanding of the mind itself. Because with that recognition, you will be able to see the truth, and you'll be able to understand, as I said, the completely, understand the life. If you don't have awareness and mindfulness, it's impossible to understand who you are. It's impossible. I'm 100% sure you don't understand who you are. You don't understand what you're doing. The energy of mind is the essence of life. And being aware of that is meditation. And it is also, as I said, the great discipline. Human beings need discipline. And that is how the great masters meditate. That is how they achieve enlightenment. So, meditation is not just something, not just saying, some prayers. Meditation is not just playing with, prayers in our meditation, and then when we're done with meditation, what happens is that, we separate that meditation from our daily lives, right? That's the problem. That's why we can't grow. Meditation is not just, playing with words of the teachings, just in sort of intellectual understanding. That's not meditation at all. So we must recognize what is the state of our mind, what is the state of our consciousness, and we must be aware of every action that we do in our daily lives. That is difficult, but that's how we, that is the actual movement of meditation. So as you know, the practice of meditation is a process of training. So never, you can't separate meditation from your daily life. Meditation, that's why, is process of training. This also doesn't mean that, immediately we develop or have success, right? So we need to develop ourselves over a period of time and keep our commitment. And I always say this, we have to be willing to go through the whole process, no matter easy or difficult. Meditation is the most important thing to do in our lives, because meditation is the best method to develop our discipline and the way to understand who we are. So meditation is getting to know ourselves by examining and trying to find out the truth. If we do that, then we begin to understand daily life is meditation, right? Meditation is daily life. That means there is no separation from each other. Eventually. So which is really important, because when there is a separation, then we will not be able to remember things, like discipline, bodhicitta, and we're going to forget this sort of this moment, this precious time, this precious, not the past, not the future, but this moment, this precious time, which is part of our lives. The more I examine about my life, I can see the time is life. Life is this movement, every second, every minute, every hour, life is constantly changing. But we don't understand that because we're not aware of like every second, every minute, things changing. Things changing, like moment by moment, not things change like overnight. So without examination, this life appears to us to be permanent, right? This body doesn't appear to us in accordance with reality. We don't want to see reality because we think it brings all this sort of, uncomfortableness. So we let our mind sort of believe this body is always going to be same body until we die. We let our mind believe that out of ignorance. If we let our minds hold on to an existence of this body and believe it to be true, we are then creating ignorance all the time. We develop this kind of habit, the ignorance all the time. But when we pay great attention to the appearance of this life and understand the reality, the truth, then we don't create the self-grasping of the person. And then we don't allow our minds to create this ignorance that is the root of suffering. That is how we protect ourselves from distractions, delusion, negative emotion, ignorance, so self-grasping and suffering. That's why Atisha said, you have to protect the doors of your senses. That's how we do. That's how we protect. Therefore, right here in the text, Atisha said, with mindfulness, awareness, and carefulness, always protect the doors of your senses. That's how we protect the doors of our senses, right? There is no room for distractions because we are not separate from what is there. That's how we protect the doors of senses. So meditation is a journey of self-discovery, basically. Once we discover and understand the nature of life completely, then our meditation becomes inseparable from our daily lives. And then meditation becomes the most important part of our lives. Then automatically you will understand the benefit of meditation. Then meditation is not boring at all. enjoy, then you enjoy with your meditation. And then you become, like effortless. Meditation is so easy. It's just like eat food, very natural, become very natural. So therefore, in order to have unmistaken attitudes, we need to meditate. We need to develop mindfulness, awareness. That's all. These two mental states are very important. The basic point of mindfulness is to be completely in touch with what is happening in our lives. With mindfulness practice, we won't have distractions, and then all our actions will be without mistakes, because we are paying attention. And through that kind of meditation, we have the great, they call self-discipline. Then we have, that means great self-discipline. We behave more compassionately and selflessly towards others and ourselves. That is what we call great discipline. Because that discipline is also combined with awareness and wisdom. Right? That's why mindful, when there is a mental distraction, then attention is not there. If you really careful and be aware, then you will know there's mental distractions, then pay attention is not there. When you practice meditation on mindfulness, basically you're making a connection with everything, with a great attention. Whatever you do, I have tiny experience. When you go for a walk, most people don't pay attention. Even they don't look around the beautiful trees, flowers, sky, beautiful wind, bird, never. People don't pay attention, all those kind of things. People walking and then thinking about either past, something happened, about their job, about their work, and maybe they're thinking about in the future something. You are not like 99%, I think, people are not aware of this present moment. Then, you not enjoy. You don't you don't understand the life. You just go for a walk. It's good for exercise. Your body is good for your body, but you either listen music or something. You make your mind distract, so that all these nature things around you, but you never observe them, you never pay attention to them, then you don't enjoy, and then don't have this present moment, the precious time. So therefore, making connection with everything, what you're doing, that is without attention, it's impossible. And without that kind of connection, you don't feel comfortable. Then you feel lonely, You don't enjoy your life. That's why you feel lonely. Otherwise, why are you lonely? You don't just see these beautiful nature things and you don't enjoy with them, then you feel lonely. When you feel lonely, you try to connect with other people. You believe that when you connect with other people, then the feeling of sort of loneliness will reduce or disappear. But it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Because fundamentally, your attention and the real sort of connection is not there. Even though you are physically connected with people, but your mental connection is not there, then you still feel lonely, judgmental, you know. So especially in this modern civilization, with all these distractions, our relationships are not good because there is no good connection. When somebody's speaking, you don't really listen to them like be mindfully. You make already like conclusions. Oh, that's wrong. This right. That's you just always judge and make this conclusion. Then you don't understand actually what this person is saying. So first we have to understand how to make a good connection with ourselves. That's it. Because in our daily life, we are disconnected from ourselves. We are losing ourselves. Not thinking about like how to connect with other people. But first step is we have to understand how to make a good connection with ourselves, with our daily life, so that you enjoy your life, so that you understand your life. Because right now, like in this modern time, we're losing ourselves with the good connections. So most of the time, we don't know what we're doing. We're doing something, but attention is not there. That means you really, if people say, hey, you don't know what you're doing, people get angry. I know what I'm doing, but if your attention is not there, then it doesn't matter. You say, I know what I'm doing, you are not. So if you act with mindfulness awareness, basically, you are making good connection. But without mindfulness awareness, then you are not making a good connection at all. You can make a great connection when you are capable of observing. And that is possible when there is mindfulness and awareness. Then you can observe things clearly. Not only that, but also you will have great discipline, and then you can act properly. You know, otherwise there's always distractions in our mind. Right? As I said, for example, when we go for a walk, we're not aware of each of the steps at all. So again, mindfulness is having a great attention. Mindfulness is a great attention. Awareness watches the quality of the mindfulness, so to speak. Shantandewa gives us a great experience of this too. Probably you remember this. He said the mind is like a wild elephant. Our mind, right? Mind is like a wild elephant. Very dangerous, very powerful. And that's mind. Mindfulness is the rope that ties the elephant. I mean, this is according to him, there was explanation of awareness and mindfulness, right? So that when the rope that ties the elephant, that elephant can't go anywhere. That's mindfulness. And the awareness is like the elephant trainer who, watching whatever the elephant does. So mindfulness is keeping the mind in a place, and awareness is watching what is happening. Do you understand the difference between these two? Another way to explain these two is mindfulness is like words, you, beautiful, are, right? Awareness is like grammar, which goes around and make the sentence correct. You are a beautiful person. That is awareness. So when we practice mindfulness and awareness in this way, we don't allow our minds to create all the distractions. So you will be able to be aware of when you are in a situation where distraction is about to happen. Therefore, again, Atisha says, again and again, 3 times, both day and night, examine the flow of your thoughts. If you are a beginner, right? At least 3 times a day, examine your thoughts. If you are traveling with your thoughts, then your mind get distracted. So the first, you have to make a commitment. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. So according to the Atisha's text, he says, again and again, 3 times, examine your thoughts. So you today, right now, if you can, you say, I'm going to make a commitment. I'm going to examine my thoughts in my daily life. I'm going to practice mindfulness and awareness at least 3 times a day. So, otherwise, of course, I know what is mindfulness, we have taught the mindfulness awareness hundreds of times, but that doesn't mean you are aware of everything. You are mindful whatever you're doing whatever you're doing. We don't have that. So that means we create a commitment that keeps us, not forget this kind of practice. So we need to use these 2 meditations, mindfulness, awareness, or carefulness, not only during meditation practice, but also throughout the day and night. That's basically Atisha is saying, day and night. We need to check what is going on with our mental state. Like, are we acting under the influence of disturbing emotions or not? Are we being selfish or not? We have to check this kind of things. That's why here it says, examine the flow of your thoughts. That means, are we being selfish? I am like acting not properly. We have to examine this thing. That is the meditation. In order to do that, these two meditations are necessary. Otherwise, you're going to forget. The opposite of mindfulness is forgetfulness, right? So think deeply about life. This very moment we have, this is the most important moment we have. So we can't forget this. We can't forget this. But without mindfulness, we always forget this moment. And we are hope and fear, past and future, that's all. But we can't forget this moment because you never know. Everything is impermanence. You never know. You might die tomorrow if you don't enjoy it today. So this moment we cannot forget, because what we do and how we handle this moment is all that matters. In order to look deeply into this beautiful life, we need a deeper connection to understand it. Because we are not connecting with the freshness of the present of this life. So we cannot destroy the present moment of this life by thinking of all these distractions and daydreamings, So the point is, these two meditation need to go with all our activities, whether worldly activities or spiritual activities. Without these two mental states, meditation, mindfulness, awareness, impossible. We can't act properly, because these two practices are really useful and they support all our actions. And it's so easy to you have to be aware, that's all. And like nothing there is secret, you have to, the best meditation, the quality is like you can read somebody's mind, you understand what will happen in tomorrow, you can go through the wall, you can fly, and this, not like that. This is like you just to be aware of what you're doing. When you eat, just to be aware. When you drink, just to be aware. When you meditate, just to be aware of your mind. That's all. That's very simple, but somehow it's just difficult to remember. Just we forget because all these distractions, thoughts. So this is practice of meditation, okay? So that's today these two are three actually: mindfulness, carefulness, awareness. Easy to understand, but difficult to do it. Okay, that's for today's teaching. And then I was thinking, since we're talking about mindfulness and awareness, maybe we should practice mindfulness, awareness, meditate on this too. But then, unfortunately, we have this terrible war is going on between Russia and Ukraine. So we should think about this. I don't have to explain. You all know, you all aware of this kind of what is going on between them, but it's just terrible, I think. And those people who are from Ukraine, they're just, I can't imagine that it's just, they're terrifying about the situation. And then they're just panicking, you know. They, you know, just about to die, basically, but you don't know when. Right? And hundreds of, I'm not sure exactly the number, but hundreds of people already killed and destroyed, of course, the buildings and the whole country, almost. But the worst thing is people are terrified and sad and suffering and separate from their families, and they try to leave the country, but then the means of, you know, this traffic, you know, and they can't get anywhere, right? And then killed, and they need food, they need water, they need medicine, you know. You have to put yourself in their place. And I'm very sad. The human beings are dangerous. I told you this many times. Killing each other, not necessarily. And so anyway, I'm not going to talk about this. You all know better than me. So what we think can do is just pray with a good motivation. The good thing is they have lots of, you know, already helped. I heard that like United States give them almost like $6 billion of all kinds of things. I'm sure the other countries, they're helping them. They need help physically, I mean, financially, and mentally. So what we can do is we're going to practice the Avalokiteshvaraya today. And this meditation has nothing to do with you, with me, just for completely dedicate to them and pray for those people who killed by Russian forces. This is another thing. People, one person who has a power, who has the money and very bad motivation, intention, destroy like this. So we have to pray for them who already died. We have to pray for people who are suffering, panicking, terrifying, separate from their family, children. And we have to pray for soon end of this terrible war. So that's why I changed my mind. Mindfulness is we practice another time. So this is a perfect time to generate your bodhicitta, your compassion, and then if you do that like with totally like without selfish mind, then our prayer and mantra and meditation will be for sure 100% benefit. Karma is never, it's inevitable. People doing this invaded or grasp, all these bad actions, they will get the result of this karma who created this terrible sooner or later. I 100% believe that. They need that. We need karma. So that is the reason people who died, people who are suffering, and very soon, end of this world, this war. Pray for that with great motivation, completely yourself, put in their shoes, and then you will understand how terrible. If you are there, I just can't imagine. I just can't explain how people feel. Okay. Then, Colin, can you share the prayer, Avalokita prayer, and we're going to say the prayer and then say the money mantra 108 times, and then that's it. Then dedicate.
I pray to you, Guru Avalokiteshvara. I pray to you, Deity Avalokiteshvara. I pray to you, Perfect Noble Avalokiteshvara. I pray to you, Lord Protector Avalokiteshvara. I pray to you, Lord of Love Avalokiteshvara. Great, compassionate, victorious one, please hold us with your compassion. For numberless beings who wander in endless samsara, experiencing unbearable suffering, there is no refuge other than you. Please bestow the blessing to obtain omniscient Buddhahood. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Virtue, may I quickly achieve the realization of Avalokiteshvara, and may I bring every single being to that same state.
Okay, now we say closing prayers.
May I attain in each and every life the sublime virtues of existence and peace. May I pursue the flawless mindset of altruism, working for the welfare of others on a vast scale. Through this very merit of mine, may every single sentient being eliminate all forms of negativity and practice virtue forevermore. May supreme precious bodhicitta take birth where it has not arisen. Where it has arisen, may it never wane, but continue to grow forevermore. For as long as space exists, for as long as beings endure, until then may I too remain to dispel the suffering of all beings. May I in all my lives, no matter where I am born, obtain the 7 qualities of the upper realms of existence. May I meet the Dharma immediately after taking birth and have the freedom to practice perfectly. May I please the sublime gurus and day and night dedicate myself to the Dharma. By realizing the Dharma and practicing its innermost essence, may I cross the ocean of conditioned existence in this very life. May I teach the sublime Dharma perfectly and never become weary and tired of benefiting others in samsara. By my own impartial and all-encompassing activities to benefit others, may all attain enlightenment together. Free, in the divine mandala where all that appears and exists is utterly pure, you, the sovereign of all the Buddha families and teacher of the Tantras, mature and liberate the 3 gates into their Vajra nature. Vajra King, may you ever remain. Within the Vajra body, you reveal the mandala of the great bliss of the indestructible 3 secrets. Most supreme of all, Lord of the Vajra transmission, Vajra Master, may you remain for 100 eons. Through the effortless path, you directly reveal unchanging self-awareness, the basic space of great bliss. Caring for the profound key instructions of perfection, glorious Guru, may you remain until the end of existence. Precious successor to the Gurus of the 3 lineages, may you remain throughout the 3 times in Vajra form, forever hoisting the great banner of the Dharma of the 3 lineages throughout the 3 realms.
All right, thank you. Thank you for coming and spend time with me today, listen to teachings, and wishing you all the best for this upcoming week and looking forward to seeing each of you soon. And please practice either Avalokiteshvara, Tara, or Pamasambhava, the Semalan prayer, all of them good for practice for this situation as much as you can. That's all for today, and thank you everyone, and I hope to see you soon.